We are embarking on a new journey this month, and I'm going to call it June Art Journal or Art Journal June. I think I like that one better. Anyhow, we just hopped off of Make It Mini May. I know, I'm just into alliteration right now. I don't know. It's just fun. That's the only reason for it. So with Art Journal June, you've seen this. I've already been diving into just small space art journaling. I created this mini album last month, but it actually ended up being an art journal. And so let's just look at it really quick at the couple of pages that I have in here already. These are what I consider relatively quick makes. They don't take a lot of time. Very often, as you might recognize here from this large lumber 3D texture fade, it's often things that are sitting on my desk, or they're offcuts, or they're pieces, or they're ideas that I'm playing with that I want to share and haven't done so at a larger level. There's old school, what I call old school art journaling, because I do kind of create a formula for myself and kind of work through that formula every time. And then there's also those that, give everything, expect nothing. Just a really, really good reminder for how to live life. And that's all I have so far. Actually, it is what I have so far. But what I wanted to do today, there was a request made to demonstrate and show how to make the new Sizzix 49 Market, this file folder little mini album. It's part of their Snap and Swapp product line, relatively new. And so I'm actually going to be teaching this at a whole nother level later on in the year. You'll have to stay tuned for what that looks like. However, today I wanted to just show some preliminaries about how we can make, really quick, a mini art journal. The file folder Snap and Swap die comes with 15 pieces to this set and is going to make versatile things come to life. So it starts with this main die set here. And so you can see there's a page here and then this with an opening. So there are multiple interchangeable die pieces. I just have them attached here to this other magnetic magic mat. It has these little interactive pieces. So if you were to come in here and create a tab, not only could you go in that direction, you can also flip this and make it the tab come to the inside of the page as well. And therefore, creating this whole file folder technique, correct? There are like I said, there's multiple of these. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's also this one. And this is what, ideally, but you wouldn't have to, you would create the cover of your book with the one that is the cover, right? It's rounded edges, both front and back, out of whatever paper you would choose to make that from. But wait, there's more. There's also these elements that could be part of the front. This one is stitched, so it would make a great foundation for the front of your book to then build embellished clusters on. I would think, though, as well, with any of these, I've got a couple different sort of tab ideas here. This makes a frame, so this would then come inside of here, and you'd be able to frame a situation. This one then obviously comes then inside of here, but also, too, you could make a window at the front of your book as well, which could be super cool. Am I wrong? Am I right? I think I'm right. There's a few more extra elements. There are a couple of heart dies, and then also including these really tiny dies here, and then the tab labels, if you will, that would fit on each of the tabs. So let me show you what this actually is going to look like once it's cut. All right, I have loaded a piece of pattern paper onto my magnetic magic mat. It's helpful to use that or even sticky grid to help keep the magnet in place, the die in place rather. I'm kind of like a little bit of a security girl, so I'm actually going to also add in just a touch of mint tape. Not necessary, it's just my way. I like to keep the interchangeable pieces closed. The other suggestion too is that the interchangeable pieces go into the machine first. And then another suggestion includes, and you've heard this before, with dies to come at an angle. I'm not going to be coming in at an angle because of the way my paper's cut, and I want my dots to line up straight. So wish me luck, but it should work okay. And then you just run it through the machine like you would run any of your dies through the machine. Oh, big old pop. Kind of always happens. My top cutting plate is a bit warped, so we'll see how this works here. I need to probably replace those here in a bit. Let's see what we got. Okay, so now what we're left with is a front cover. I love my inside too. Look at all those words. You're left with the front cover, rounded edges, have a little bit of that classic kind of die impression. I really love that. And there is a single fold in the middle. And so go about folding that nicely and giving it a little bit of help there. Depending on your cardstock, you might also need to come in and sand it a little bit. This is 49 to Market cardstock. It's the Flower Emporium, and so it's a little bit heavier. And so you just got to help the folds just a little bit. But I am always inclined to want to sand my edges anyway. But this then is your cover. Okay, now for the inside of your book, think about this. Each of the pages are going to go inside the next. So for example, this is going to be your next page. This is going to be what you open up to, right? You following here? This is what you're going to open up to. And this will be in the middle of your book. And then whatever tab you have here will be the tab that is adjacent to the back of the book. So you just got to kind of think it out. But the great thing you could do is just take each one of these, cut them out in different pattern paper, and then just play with the configuration inside the book. All right, at this point, I have gathered several different patterns of paper, and I'm going to cut out a couple different configurations with the dies, with the thinlits here. I'm going to run it through my machine twice, coming back out. This way I can just gather them together, and you're going to see how next I'm going to take time to see how I want them to fit inside. Okay, so you saw me just cut this one out here. So I have several cut out. I have my cover that we did at the beginning. And then I have just a couple other different configurations. Realizing, of course, that this could go this way. It could go this way. With these guys, same way. It could go this way. It could go this way. It could be this. It could be this, right? Okay, so let's think about what I want. I actually want I want a tab to be at the very front. So when I open my book, I'm immediately at a tab. That's one thing I wanted to do. The next thing I want to do is to have the middle tab. So here's my middle tab. And this could go this way, or it could go this way. I think because I have the same pattern in the front that I'm going to switch it around so that you can see some of that gorgeous text that I just love so much. Okay. Then you have one more, and this could go this way, which I think I'm going to have mine do, but actually I'm going to do this. I'm going to wrap it around the back. I just decided. I'm going to have that wrap around the back. So let's see what this looks like now. So when you open it, I actually have a cover page. Okay. I could go back and create a window in my cover page, which I might be tempted to do. Just like that. Be fun. Fun idea. And then I have this first tab, then I have a page, and the next tab, then I have a page, and I have the last tab. This just provides so much space. So what I'm going to do for mine, I'm going to make it super, super simple. I am going to come in here at the center and create 2 holes. One here is about at the 1.5. So So I have them all lined up, so it's going to all go through there. And I'll do the same thing. I'll come up about 1.5 here as well. And go right through the crease. And then I'm going to thread this with some twine so that my book is now bound. Very simply. You could also sew. That's an idea. You could wrap ribbon around it this way so that it's all connected. So I'm going to get mine all twined up now. So now that my book is bound, and I've kept it pretty simple, as you can see, with the 3 tabs, I want to take a moment here and just kind of do my thing here on the front cover with some rub-ons here from the Flower Emporium that I am transferring to that middle die cut piece, the smallest of those die cut rectangles. And as always, I'm just going to burnish and then gently lift up the plastic to make sure that my rub-on is actually adhered right. I'm going to grab a craft knife and cut away the rest of the rub-on that I'm not using. And then I still have a good portion of this rub-on that I can use someplace else at another time. But this is going to make for a beautiful, kind of like a pattern paper. It's absolutely gorgeous patterning on these rub-ons. So this is a fun little touch. And next I'm going to take that frame using the ScrapbookCom 1/8" foam adhesive strips. I am adding some to the back of the frame so that I can kind of elevate it up on the cover a bit, because, you know, we're all here for that elevation of the elements, right? And then some of the vellum ephemera pieces, I'm tucking that circle element back behind. It's also going to kind of be a frame here in a moment when I take the acetate foliage piece that also has pink on it. So all that pink is kind of tying back into itself. And then, of course, a gold foiled butterfly. I mean, are you kidding me already? So I am grouping that there at that bottom right corner, and I'm going to use a tiny attacher to get it all connected. Great way to adhere acetate elements to a surface is with a staple. And then just kind of see how that looks inside there. Grabbing some more of the ScrapbookCom square foam adhesives, I'm going to layer that piece inside of the frame, but it too is going to have a little bit of elevation. So here we go, popping that right in the middle. It's a lovely little cluster embellishment on the cover of this journal, kind of inviting the viewer in to see what it's all about. There's also the dies for the tab labels, and I cut one of those out and added 3 of them to the tabs. I've sanded the edges a little bit so they're a little distressed, whether you can see that or not. The next thing I'm going to add in here is some of the stickers from the Flower Emporium that's going to title each of those tabs. So gather your supplies, clear your workspace, dive into a journal of some sort today. We're going to continue to create some beautiful things this month around journals and all the different things that journals can hold. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I don't want you to miss anything that we are going to be crafting together this month.